Today on the Morning Edition, if you're headed to the airport, pay attention. The parking lots there are very full. We spent a few hours ourselves looking for available parking. We'll share with you what the airport is advising. Plus,
I'm Danny Tompkins, and coming up, they left Alaska and went all the way to Ohio, leaving every other team talking about them. Black Ice's historic win.
And later, this young boy has an incredible connection to Mother Nature, one that he says drives him to do everything he can to help, pushing recycling initiatives in an incredible way. We'll explore what makes him want to sweeten the planet as the Morning Edition starts now. Good Thursday morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us today. I love when I see kids passionate about the planet.
I know, it's always good to see not only that, but people who like to reuse and recycle or even repurpose things. We've done several of those stories. It's really cool to see that.
Yeah. Well, winter is really not wanting to let up, Aaron.
Yeah, we maybe loading spring by the end of the month. We'll see. But as far as this morning, we continue to hold on to some of those bitter cold conditions. 11 below in Palmer as we start off your Thursday morning. 35 below in Fairbanks. Now, we did officially hit 41 below again yesterday morning, which was another brand new record low for Fairbanks, which is 2 in a row. 8 degrees in Juneau and 4 degrees currently in Anchorage. And we are going to continue to hold on to some clear skies across the region as we head through the rest of today and on into our Friday. However, by week's end, we will see the return to a slight increase in some cloud coverage and some possible snow showers that will push through parts of the state. But those temperatures this morning, 34 below in McGrath, 35 below in Fairbanks, slightly warmer for areas along the slope. And as you head out west, where temperatures from Kotzebue, Nome, as well as out towards Gamble are significantly warmer than the rest of the state. 22 degrees in Gamble and 4 degrees in Nome. In fact, areas out west, thanks to that increasing snow that we did see yesterday and into the night, brought temperatures about 10 to 20 degrees above what we did see at this time yesterday morning. And that will stay with us for today, although we will see temperatures beginning to drop once again for areas of western Alaska as the clouds clear out and as that snow begins to shift to the south out towards parts of the Alaska Peninsula, as well as you head through the eastern Aleutians. But temperatures across the state will slowly warm for many areas as we welcome in the weekend. Today, we are going to wake up to those sub-zero values across South Central. We'll make it into the teens today throughout the afternoon hours. However, there will be a few locations across South Central managing to warm into the 20s today. We are back near zero into the night, if not some sub-zero values. And then, of course, as we head into the weekend, there is that potential that we could see temperatures warming into the 20s. Today, though, you can see many areas will begin to make an approach near to above zero as you head into the interior, but still expected to hold on to cold weather. I'll have more on that in that 7-day forecast coming up.
If you're trying to get out of town for spring break, you may want to get a ride to the airport because right now parking is scarce. Joe Allgood spent a couple hours trying to find parking at Ted Stevens International, and it wasn't exactly an easy walk in the parking lot.
Parking everywhere, but not a spot to see. On Tuesday, Ted Stevens International Airport put out a social media post saying all airport parking lots were full, and on Wednesday they looked much the same. The airport said the parking shortage is due in large part to the busy spring break season, as travelers report searching endlessly for a spot.
Because last time, it took me like 45 minutes of driving.
45?
Yeah, like 45 minutes, but I went up and down, and I thought, we're going to miss our flight.
So travelers are encouraged to park in private lots elsewhere or use alternate transportation methods.
And I wanted to see if I could get a rental car right now, today, within the next hour, because we've heard there's a lot of Turo rental cars. So I checked out the app Turo. I'm on it right now. We've got a Toyota Sienna 2018. I can get it within the hour. It's on site here at the airport in the parking lot here, which is, at the moment, completely full.
Though Turo faces the same problem.
So we're driving around the parking garage in front of the South Terminal, and so far we have seen no open spots. It's the usual story of seeing a small car or a spot that you think is open, and then it turns out there's just a smaller vehicle there. And there are people waiting all over the parking garage. And I just got a message from the Turo host saying they don't think they can find a parking spot in any of the terminal lots at the airport.
And may even contribute to the shortage.
So I made another search for next Sunday through Saturday, and that turns up over 200 vehicles. Most of them, the vast majority of them, at the airport.
The airport says it will be adding 250 new spots this summer to their park, ride, and fly lot. But until then, it pays to plan ahead.
Well, I have gotten my Turo rental car, and I'm headed out from the airport, which means that at least for a couple minutes, there's one spot open at the North Terminal. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
Well, public safety took center stage in Anchorage as Governor Mike Dunleavy and Mayor Suzanne LaFrance talked about new steps to crack down on crime. The state attorney general and the municipal attorney also spoke, saying their offices are working more closely with the city to keep cases moving and cut down on things slipping through the cracks. The governor spoke to the importance of the administration recognizing the issue and how to tackle it.
We began a conversation with our counterparts in Anchorage with the mayor, Mayor LaFrance. And pretty quickly, we both realized that, yeah, crime's a problem. Crime's a problem everywhere in the state of Alaska, including in the city of Anchorage. And that as executives, we have a duty to deal with this crime to make sure this is as safe a place as possible. Not just the state, but Anchorage as well.
Johnson Kuhn was at Wednesday's press conference and has a full breakdown on alaskasnewssource.com. An update on the Palmer Municipal Golf Course situation. It is now fully back in the hands of the city after an executive meeting. Eagle Golf Course Management had managed the course for 18 years before the contract expired this year. Palmer Mayor Jim Cooper says there were legality issues during renegotiations, but stresses that there were no negative feelings that led to the separation.
George has been working the golf course for, he had his own contract for the last 18 years. He's actually been working for the golf course for, probably 25 years. And we know he's doing a great job, and there's been no question about that. The concern has always been, the contract that, that we have to have a contract that's one, legal, and two, protects the city and also protects the contractor. And so that's really the direction that we're headed. Eventually, with a request for a proposal, one of the thoughts is we just lease the whole thing out.
Mayor Cooper says the city will manage the course for at least a year with the goal of a local business or company taking over. He says job opportunities will open soon with the hopes of the course opening in mid-April. With the interior seeing a very cold winter, hikers, skiers, and snow machiners checking out different trails have a longer time to explore. The Fairbanks North Star Burrows Winter Trails Challenge didn't start on the winter solstice as it normally does due to a December cold snap. So the burrow has extended it until May 15th. Fans of the outdoors can find special signs within 20 different trails. You can see a full list on the Burrows website. Yesterday, we showed you that massive fireball over Fairbanks and why some thought it could be a satellite. NASA has been tracking a 1,300-pound decommissioned research satellite from 2012 that was expected to re-enter near Alaska Tuesday afternoon, give or take 24 hours. Well, it plunged uncontrolled from orbit and re-entered over the Pacific Wednesday. NASA confirmed to Alaska's news source that fireball seen over Fairbanks was not the satellite. But the timing couldn't be weirder. Most people think of Alaska and picture mountains, moose, and the midnight sun. But in Anchorage, there's a group of high schoolers chasing national titles. It's happening in a sport most Alaskans don't even realize compete at this level. Danny Tompkins takes us inside the gym and onto the pyramid with the team called Black Ice.
In this gym, practice doesn't end until Coach Leon says the routine is perfect.
And then if we don't hit it, we hit another one. If we don't hit it, we hit another one.
They are your neighbors, high schoolers chasing something most Alaskans don't know exists.
Tonight you watched our highest level team. That's just the highest level in our sport, which is Black Ice.
Getting there isn't easy. These athletes train 7 days a week leading up to competitions, perfecting their routine to perform under pressure.
I just wish that our hard work would be showcased more.
Those athletes just put in 9 practices in a row, 9 days straight, multiple practices per day, no time off.
Last month, they were in Columbus, Ohio. 2 days, 0 deductions. Shelby Richmond couldn't have been happier.
I was just really proud of my team because we hit 0, and it's a pretty big deal in this sport.
0 deductions means a flawless routine. Black Ice didn't just win their division, they earned grand champion. Benson Ted says the highest score in the building.
And we won the whole thing, and we won a full pay at the Worlds.
But Reese Bautista says it isn't just the trophy that turned heads.
People were just like, wow, you guys are from Alaska, that's super cool, and everyone just shocked from like the hidden talent.
People don't expect it from Alaska. We don't have the demographics. Technically, a gym like ours, a smaller program, is not supposed to be able to accomplish those things.
Getting up here was hard enough. Oh, wait. And these athletes flip from here.
Up and hold, and 5, up and...
It teaches you such a solid mentality and a community.
It is very easy to disappoint yourself. It is very hard to disappoint your team.
Black ice isn't just good for Alaska. They're proving Alaska belongs on any floor against anyone in the country. Danny Tompkins, Alaska's news source.
Black ice flies to Orlando this week for the UCA National Championship, where they'll fight for the title of world champion. So good luck to the team. Still ahead today on the morning edition, the trail continues for 33 Iditarod teams and 3 expedition racers. We'll explain what the expedition class is and what they bring to the trail, plus the latest standings next.
Still holding on to those cold conditions across the state. However, we will see a slight warming trend into the weekend. I'll have more on that, but first at sunrise, 8:25 in Anchorage, 7:21 in Juneau.
Welcome back in on this Thursday morning. Aaron, it has been bitter cold all week, and it doesn't look like that's leaving us anytime soon.
Oh, Kristen, have you tried to unplug and plug March back in?
We should try that, right?
Maybe it'll work, because right now March is just buffering. I mean, we have yet to see any of those springtime temps. In fact, the only warm day that we've seen across parts of the state came at the start of the Iditarod, or at least the ceremonial start of the Iditarod, when those temperatures topped out near freezing across South Central. Bitter cold, though, start to March. We likely will hold on to this cold weather pattern for most, if not all, of the month. And of course, we are drying out for Southeast. That is some good news for areas that have been inundated with several rounds of some snowfall. Now, look at the average temperature, or the departure from average for Anchorage since the start of the year. Practically every day, with the exception of the ceremonial start of the Iditarod, has been well below average. The average monthly temperature coming in at 9 degrees, which is making this the 4th coldest start to March on record. You can see we're about 15 degrees below what we typically see for the month. Still quiet across the state. We've still got these areas of low pressure lingering in the eastern Gulf of Alaska that will keep some spotty snow showers for parts of the southern panhandle, but many areas drying out. We're also seeing locations out towards southwest Alaska where we're still seeing some of those passing snow showers. Those will continue to shift off towards the south, but out towards Bethel, the Kuskokwim Delta, holding on to some of that light snow this morning. And with that snow that we did see yesterday into this morning, it's only going to amount to about 2 to 4 inches of snow accumulation. And it is following the rounding of that ridge on the eastern side of that ridge. So it will build down towards the Alaska Peninsula and into the central and eastern Aleutians. This is also one area of the state that we're going to be watching for some winds gusting as high as about 40 to 50 miles per hour throughout the day. Winds are already picking up about 20 to 30 miles per hour. While winds have subsided across South Central, we'll still see some gap winds from Seward out towards Whittier and Valdez, but inland areas of South Central shouldn't see any concerns today, like we've been holding on with those breezy conditions the past couple of afternoons. But still holding on to some of that cloud coverage out west. That actually kept temperatures a lot warmer than what we have been seeing for many areas of western Alaska. Once these clouds clear out, we will see the return to some colder conditions as upper level disturbances drop south out of the Chukchi Sea. But you can see fairly quiet conditions for a good portion of the state. Now, one thing we're going to be watching is this cloud coverage that's building into the interior to close out this week and welcome in the weekend could provide some light snow showers, very light snow showers at that, as it could amount to about ½ inch or so of snow accumulation. But as far as the rest of the state, we are going to continue to keep this dry weather pattern with us. We will be watching Saturday, bringing a slight potential that we could see some snow showers across parts of South Central, better opportunity across eastern parts of Prince William Sound. But of course, we will be watching that this weekend as we could see an isolated chance for some snow showers. But nothing looks promising over the next 7 days. One thing that does look promising, though, is that cold weather pattern just sticking around with us. There is that slight warmer weather that we'll see into the weekend as we top out in the 20s. Overnight lows do climb back into the single digits, but we'll still see some of those areas, Kenai, Soldotna, into parts of the Susitna Valley and the Copper River Basin, still holding on to sub-zero values.
The sun set on day 4 of the Iditarod with the last few mushers trickling into the McGrath checkpoint. That's where we find Tyler Lane, who shows us how things are going and what lies ahead for these determined competitors.
Well over 12 hours since Jesse Holmes was the first musher to arrive here in McGrath. It's been a busy yet quiet Wednesday so far for everyone here along the banks of the Kuskokwim River. And as for the mushers sticking around, like Jason Mackey's team behind us, they're enjoying the amenities.
Great, thanks. You're welcome.
After a late night on course, musher and canine alike are taking a load off.
Oh, we got soaked. No, I got totally wet.
And thawing out, apparently. For Jeff Dieter, he's taking advantage of some McGrath main tags. Nice amenities after he says his sled took a bit of a plunge on the way here.
Stuff in my sled was wet, it's like, it was all just wet. But there was just another good reason to stop here and take the rest.
Millie Porsild found herself in similar territory overnight, arriving to McGrath with some drenched equipment.
Everything that's inside of this sled is just soaked. It was a hole when you come down the gorge, and I just had a really bad ankle on it. So it was really mostly me that went in.
While she pushed on and Dieter dries off, the four-legged athletes are enjoying themselves and catching Z's when they can.
I'm more scared to go to Walmart than I am out here.
Getting plenty of attention in the process. As for teams not here just yet, they've been getting some well-deserved rest over in Nikolai, while the front of the pack pushes towards Cripple and the start of the Yukon River in Ruby. Tyler Lane, Alaska's news source.
Currently on the GPS tracker, it looks like Jesse Holmes has reclaimed the lead spot after taking his 24-hour layover into Katna and getting back on the trail. He's since checked in and out of Ophir, along with the rest of the front of the pack. Paige Drobny and Mila Porsid round out the top 3. It looks like many of the racers are out and running currently. Holmes leading the pack towards Cripple. Norwegian businessman and philanthropist Kjell Ruka is among the first ever expedition mushers in the Iditarod. This intrigued us, so we found out what comes with being the first ever expedition musher, and the short answer, a big entry fee. Ruka pledged lots of money, including $2,000 for each official musher registered by November 28th of last year, $25,000 in direct financial support to the Iditarod Trail Committee, $100,000 to increase the 2026 race purse to $650,000, and $170,000 in community support for the 17 Alaska Native villagers along the northern and southern routes. And yes, he knows we are all talking about him.
In everything in life, there's always be somebody that's critical. That's just life in general, and that's good. We all need to be criticized and questioned. To the contrary, I think almost like a compliment that people are questioning it. I know we're doing the right thing for the right reasons. We are bringing money to the sport, we're bringing money to the villages. So from my point of view, I respect that they disagree, but I'm respectfully pleased with what we're doing.
He and his team are currently on the move on the other side of Cripple, heading towards Ruby. If you're interested in learning more, you can read more about what goes into the process on our website.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.